Hello there, everyone. If you're watching this video, then you are part of the TTOR Army, an army that is building itself up one subscriber at a time. As you can see from the title and thumbnail of today's video, today we're going to be talking about Nick Fuentes and how he recently jumped on the far-left Democrat bandwagon by claiming that Donald Trump is a grave threat to our country. Thus, he is now repeating and cycling and propagating the same narrative that has led to the previous 2 or 3 assassination attempts against Donald Trump. Now, I know that for some of you, you may have a hard time believing that, and for you, seeing is believing. Well, let's look at the Nick Fuentes clip in particular, where he said that, courtesy of Sarah Fields over here on X. The link to her post will be in the description box down below. But here she has a 5-minute and 56-second clip of Nick Fuentes. Her tweet says, Nick Fuentes has come out against Trump and claims he is a grave threat to the country, just like the leftists and the Democrats are saying, both before and after his assassination attempts that were made against him. But let's watch the first 2 minutes and 23 seconds of this video so you can get the idea of what's going on here.
If you could simply peel back the veneer and you could see what was really going on in the entire right wing, you would not believe it. You would not believe how deep the infiltration goes. And on some level, after seeing what I've seen, knowing what I know now, hearing this stuff constantly now about stopping anti-Semitism, honestly, I don't even want Trump to win anymore. I don't care how based he sounds on immigration. I know he's got aura. I know he's funny. That's not because I don't like him, but I really do believe, with zero irony and zero exaggeration, that he is actually a grave threat to the country. And I'm not saying that because I'm a resistance liberal. I'm not saying that because I'm a leftist. I'm not. I'm as right-wing as it gets. But at this point in time, when you look at America's role in the world in this very dangerous neighborhood, our country is being destroyed from the inside by this international cabal. And they're making it so that no one can have any power in the country without being compromised for Israel. And so, in a sense, we are a vassal for Israel, and Trump is running as like the king vassal of Israel. There's a reason. When Trump goes up there and says, if Kamala wins, it's over for Israel, listen. When Trump says, Kamala makes Obama look like an Israel lover, listen. When he goes up there and they cheer and applaud and give standing ovations, he says, I'm a friend of the Jewish people. He said at these events yesterday, this is the most important election of our lifetimes for Israel. I'm going to make Israel great again. He said Israel might be the greatest country in the world. Are you hearing that? How could anyone hear that and say, well, it's no big deal?
Quite easily, Nick Fuentes. He's pandering, like most politicians do. But I decided to point out the obvious in response to this video. My summary of Nick Fuentes and what you saw is this. Orange man bad because he supports and loves Israel. Nick may claim to be right-wing, but he's now parroting the narrative that has led to 2 assassination attempts on Trump. And that is the truth. You saw it in the clip we watched. He said that Donald Trump is a grave threat to this country, and he claims that he's not saying that to parrot the left, and he's as right-wing as it gets. But come on, man. You're literally parroting the narrative that led to Donald Trump getting an assassination attempt made against him, not once, but twice. I mean, think about it. For years, the leftists and the Democrats have been saying that Donald Trump is a grave threat to democracy. He's a grave threat to America. And then after the first assassination attempt, what did they do? They said, oh, well, he's a grave threat to democracy. He's a grave threat to America, thus leading to the assassination attempt that was made on him a second time. And now we have so-called conservative right-wing people like Nick Fuentes coming out and saying, oh yeah, Donald Trump actually is a grave threat to this country. He's literally parroting the narrative that has led to the previous 2 assassination attempts that were made against Donald Trump. Nick Fuentes has come out of the closet in terms of his politics. He and the far-left Democrats are in agreement about Donald Trump being a grave threat to the country. Now, is Donald Trump actually a grave threat to the country? No. But the leftists and Democrats claim that he is, and this has led to 2 assassination attempts being made against him. And Nick Fuentes is jumping on board the bandwagon of that narrative of Trump being a grave threat to the country, a grave threat to democracy. Now, am I surprised that Nick Fuentes is doing this? No, not really. A couple years ago, I put out a video on my channel titled Nick Fuentes Comes Out of the Closet as a Censorship-Loving Authoritarian. And in this video in particular, he talks about how it's okay for him to false flag the social media accounts of his critics because how dare they criticize him. In other words, he's pro-censorship. And then one of his former allies, Jaden McNeil, exposed Nick Fuentes for being a censorious lying grifter. And then, of course, almost a year ago, Nick Fuentes promoted grooming children in schools. I kid you not. That video link will be in the description box down below. The Rumble version of this video in particular has over 1,200 views, so it's getting some traction there. And then, of course, no big shocker Rooney, Nick Fuentes, couple years back, worshipped Andrew Torba, and he put out false claims about Andrew Torba being this self-made tech guru. This video was originally posted to my Joshu TV channel 3 years ago, but I preserved the video on my Quarter channel, and I'll have the link to it in the description box below. But the point of the matter is that Nick Fuentes is, well, he's not who he claimed to be for years. For years, he portrayed himself as this conservative, right-wing Christian. He was against censorship, and he was for free speech, and he's been banned from all these social media platforms. Therefore, you should support him and his little network that he's got going. But when you actually look at the last couple of years, you've seen the mask come off of Nick Fuentes. You've seen Nick Fuentes come out in favor of censoring people who criticize him. He's been exposed for being a lying grifter. He's promoted grooming children in schools. He's worshipped Andrew Torba, who is a wingnut heretic and cult leader of a cult of personality in his own right. And now we got Nick Fuentes parroting the far-left Democrat claim that Donald Trump is a grave threat to the country, which is the narrative that has led to 2 assassination attempts being made on Donald Trump's life. That is the bandwagon that Nick Fuentes has jumped on. That's the narrative that he now endorses. The false narrative that Donald Trump is a grave threat to America. That's all I really have to say about this subject. You can leave your thoughts on this issue in the comment section down below. And if you enjoy watching my content and you hate YouTube censorship, well, there are 2 platforms in particular that you should follow me on. 3 of the links that will be in the description box down below take you to my Rumble channel. Rumble is the YouTube alternative owned by Donald Trump's media company. Therefore, it is essentially Donald Trump's YouTube alternative for all intents and purposes. I have a decent following there, and I get views on my videos, and most importantly, I live stream my podcasts on Rumble, the TTOR Show and God TV Radio. So if you like freedom of speech, you like a video sharing site that doesn't censor you for the things that YouTube does, and you also like seeing my live shows when they're actually live, I would encourage you to subscribe to my Rumble channel, check out my videos on Rumble, and tune in for my live shows there. The other place, of course, is my Quarter channel. Quarter is the alt-tech YouTube alternative that I started a little over 2 years ago. And Quarter is an awesome website in terms of features and functionality. Full HD video uploads, live streaming, free restreaming, public playlists, easy to use comment moderation system. You can also post pictures in the comments section instead of simply text-based comments now. There's also the ability to upload pictures instead of videos to your Quarter channel. You can upload audio files instead of videos to your Quarter channel. You can write articles, which is like a more robust version of the community posts on your YouTube channel pages. And there's also other things like video call rooms that you can make where you can have video calls of friends, family, coworkers, fans, followers, etc. And you can also live stream to your channel from these rooms. And then there's Quarter Bucks, which you get by getting views on your Quarter videos. In turn, you use the Quarter Bucks to promote your channel or individual videos on the front page of the website. So Rumble and Quarter are the two YouTube alternatives that you should definitely subscribe to me on and catch my live shows on if you're interested in watching my content on a website that doesn't censor people like YouTube does. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.